वेलकम यू बैक वंस अगेन इन स्टडी बैटल। सो पिछले वीडियो में जैसा कि हमने जो प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस थे, उन प्रैक्टिस क्वेश्चंस में जो पहला सेट था या जो पहला पार्ट था उसको हमने डिस्कस किया था, जिसमें हमने 3-4 क्वेश्चन डिस्कस किए थे जो रॉक साइकिल से रिलेटेड थे। सो उसी सीरीज में आज हम कुछ और क्वेश्चंस को डिस्कस करेंगे। ओके, सो आइए स्टार्ट करते हैं। सो पहला क्वेश्चन जो इसमें दिया हुआ है दैट अकॉर्डिंग टू द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ यूनिफॉर्मिटेरियनिज्म। ये क्वेश्चन आपने देखा होगा, जो चैनल की कम्युनिटी टैब है उसमें भी हमने पूछा था। सो इसमें जो ऑप्शंस आपके दिए हुए हैं, जियोलॉजिक प्रोसेसेस we observe today have been operated in the past. Geologic processes in the past operated at the same rate as they do today. All of the planets formed from a uniform solar nebula. Early Earth was covered by a uniform magmatic ocean or magma ocean. So principle of uniformitarianism का जो concept है, that tells about that all those processes we observe today, they have operated in the past. Okay, for example अगर हम example के तौर पे लें, so जैसे जो फ्लड है, सपोज करिए आज जो फ्लड आई हुई है, सो वो पहले भी ऑपरेट हुआ है। Okay, so all those processes which have operated in the past, what we are observing today, they have operated in the past. So पहले जो फ्लड्स आ चुके हैं या पहले जो अर्थक्वेक्स आ चुके हैं, उन्हीं अर्थक्वेक्स और फ्लड्स के की स्टडी करने के बाद में हम आज जो हो रहा है उसके बारे में डिस्कस करते हैं। उसके बारे में हम कुछ कंक्लूजन ड्रॉ करते हैं कि किन वजहों से पर्टिकुलर टाइम में पास्ट में जो अर्थक्वेक्स आए या पास्ट टाइम में जो फ्लड्स आए, ओके, या जो भी वॉल्केनिक हजार्ड्स या जो भी नेचुरल हजार्ड्स टाइप्स है, फॉर एग्जांपल हम ले सकते हैं। सो वो पहले भी अकर हुए हैं, उनके बेसिस पे हम कंक्लूजन्स ड्रॉ करते हैं कि किस पर्टिकुलर प्लेट में कौन सा प्लेट मूवमेंट हुआ, किस पर्टिकुलर रीजन में, उस पर्टिकुलर सपोज करिए हम अर्थक्वेक्स के बारे में बात करें, सो जो हिमालयन रीजन्स में जो अर्थक्वेक आते हैं, सो हिमालयन रीजन्स में जो पास्ट में अर्थक्वेक्स आ चुके हैं, उसके बेसिस पे हम कंक्लूजन ड्रॉ करते हैं कि हाँ ये, फिर हमने उसको अर्थक्वेक जोन्स में डिवाइड किया, जो रिस्क जोन है कि रिस्क जोन 1 में है, 2 में है, 3 में है, 4 में है, एक्सेट्रा। ओके, सो दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ प्रिंसिपल ऑफ यूनिफॉर्मिटेरियनिज्म। means the geological processes we observe today, they have been operating since the past. ओके, वो पहले ऑपरेट हो चुकी हैं या पास्ट से ही ऑपरेट हो रही हो। ओके, सो दिस इज द कॉन्सेप्ट। सो इसमें जो ऑप्शन ए है दैट द जियोलॉजिक प्रोसेसेस वी ऑब्जर्व टुडे हैव ऑपरेटेड इन द पास्ट, सो दिस इज द करेक्ट ऑप्शन। Some of you have ticked the option B, that is the geologic process in the past operated at the same rate. No, this is not true. This is true that the phenomena we are observing today, it has already been taking place. It has already taken place in the past, but the rate that was not the same. Okay, so option A will be the correct option. Second one is approximately how long ago did the Big Bang take place? So Big Bang theory, we call it Big Bang theory. Okay, so you have to tell at what time this theory has taken place. 10 to 15,000 years, 10 to 15 million years ago, 100 to 150 million years ago, or 10 to 15 billion years ago. Okay, so firstly we will understand about Big Bang theory. So Big Bang theory, this is one of the singular cataclysmic event that started it all about 13.8 billion years ago. Okay, so this Big Bang theory states the origin of the universe. In short term, in one word you can understand that is the Big Bang theory that is related with the ओरिजिन ऑफ द यूनिवर्स की, जो यूनिवर्स की ओरिजिन है वो कहां से हुई। सो द थ्योरी व्हिच इज रिस्पांसिबल और व्हिच इज ऑपरेटिंग बिहाइंड द ओरिजिन ऑफ द यूनिवर्स, सो दैट थ्योरी इज बिग बैंग थ्योरी। ओके, एंड व्हाट डज इट इंप्लाइज? सो इट डिस्क्राइब्स हाउ द यूनिवर्स एक्सपैंडेड फ्रॉम एन इनिशियल state of high density and temperature. ओके, सो जो यूनिवर्स है, जैसा कि यूनिवर्स जब एक्सपैंड हो रही थी या यूनिवर्स जब ओरिजिन हुई, तो उस टाइम पे जो टेम्परेचर और डेंसिटी बोथ वर वेरी हाई. Okay, so this is the conclusion we draw from the Big Bang theory. Okay, and it has operated around 13.8 billion years ago, and this 13.8 billion years time, that is also called as the, which is considered as the age of the universe. Okay, so there are two questions which you can draw from this conclusion, that the Big Bang theory taken place 10 to 15 billion years ago. Option D is correct one. 10 to 15 exactly, we don't know that exact time, the 13.8 which is being calculated from various experiments, so we call 13.8 billion years ago. So as in the options we have been, in option D we have 10 to 15 billion years ago, so 13.8 that will fall in between 10 to 15 billion years ago. Okay, so the age of the universe, if it has been asked in the examinations, you will take 13.8 billion years ago. Okay, next one is under intense pressure and high temperature, hydrogen atom combines to form helium. This process is known as. ओके, सो जब टेम्परेचर और प्रेशर बहुत हाई रहता है, देन हाइड्रोजन एटम्स दे कंबाइन टू फॉर्म हीलियम, एंड दिस प्रोसेस इज नोन एज न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन, न्यूक्लियर फिजन, मेटामॉर्फिज्म और कन्वेक्शन. सो दिस प्रोसेस इज नोन एज न्यूक्लियर फ्यूजन. ओके, व्हेन द हाइड्रोजन एंड helium they combines, they give rise to the nuclear fusion process, and the temperature and pressure that is intensely high. Okay, so option A, that will be the correct option. Next one is, what are the two most abundant elements in nebula or gas clouds in the universe? Okay, so nitrogen and oxygen, oxygen and silicon, hydrogen and helium, or iron and nickel. So we all are very familiar with the nebula. So this is the nebula, means the vast cloud of hot gases which has occurred previously, from which the stars and planets have been originated. Okay, so nebula at that time, or gas clouds, the abundant elements, they were helium and hydrogen. Okay, so hydrogen and helium were the most abundant elements in nebula, and later on lithium also being added. Okay, so जब ओरिजिन हुई, अर्थ की ओरिजिन के टाइम पे जो नेबुला था, तो उसमें जो मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एलिमेंट्स थे वो हाइड्रोजन और हीलियम थे, बट लेटर ऑन लिथियम वाज आल्सो बीइंग एडेड. ओके, सो जहां पे हाइड्रोजन और हीलियम का जो आपका ऑप्शन है, ऑप्शन सी, दैट विल बी द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. नेक्स्ट है द प्रोसेस बाय व्हिच एन ओरिजिनली होमोजेनियस अर्थ डेवलप्ड अ डेंस core and a lighter crust is known as, is called as. So the process by which an originally homogeneous earth developed a dense core and a light crust is known as metamorphism, differentiation, accretion, or the compression. So differentiation was the process which was responsible for a homogeneous earth in conversion of a homogeneous earth to a denser core and the lighter crust. Okay, because the lighter elements, because of the process of the differentiation or the differentiation of the lighter and denser elements, the crust and the core that was formed. Okay, so on that basis, from the process of the differentiation, we can conclude that the dense core was dense and the crust is lighter elements are there in the crust, and the denser elements, for example nickel and iron, so they are the denser elements which are present in the core, and lighter elements silicon, silicon, aluminium, they were present in the crust. Okay, so option B, differentiation, will be the correct option. Next one is the heat that caused melting in the earth's early history was supplied from which of the following events or causes? A volcanic activity and radioactivity, solar heating and volcanic activity, a large impact event and radioactivity, a large impact event and solar heating. So the heat, initially the heat that caused melting in the Earth's early history was supplied from a very large impact event and the radioactivity. We all know that in the Earth's core, the radioactive elements, the expansion or the origin of the radioactive elements, that was very high, and the impact of the impact of large impact events, suppose for the asteroid impact, okay, the large asteroid impact and the radioactivity process, these two processes give rise to high melting in the Earth's core. Okay, so option C will be the correct option. Next one is how thick is the crust of the Earth. So this is very easy and very important question too. How thick is the crust of the Earth? About 4 miles, about 4 kilometers, about 40 kilometers, or about 400 kilometers. So we all know that is the thickness of the crust. That is, so again we divide crust into oceanic crust and continental crust. So we are talking about continental crust, so that is in between 35 to 38. Maximum we can conclude 40 kilometers as given in the option 3, but 35 to 38 we can describe. Okay, so option 3 is the correct option here. Next one is the layer that separates crust from the core is magmatic layer, lithosphere, mantle, or the continent. So the layer that separates crust from the core, that is the mantle. Okay, so we have firstly the crust, then mantle, and then core. And next one is what drives the Earth's internal heat engine? Radioactivity, solar energy, volcanoes, or the ocean tides. So in the previous question we have discussed, that is the Earth's internal heat engine that has been provided by the radioactivity processes. Okay, the radioactive elements, for example, uranium, thorium, boron, lithium, boron. So all those elements, they are present in abundance in the Earth's internal structure, and subsequently they have been providing the heat for the Earth's core. Okay, so Earth's internal heat engine is radioactivity. Okay, next one is in general igneous rocks. They are formed at relatively high temperatures, formed by the crystallization of solids from a liquid, formed at high and low pressure, all of the above. So we all know that is igneous rocks, they form at relatively high temperatures. Okay, because the temperature in the, as we move from the deep in the Earth's internal structure, the temperature rises and subsequently pressure rises also. Okay, so form at relatively high temperature, form at high and low pressure, that is also correct, and formed by the crystallization of solids from a liquid. Okay, so liquid material we call them magma, and when it erupts at the surface of the Earth we call it lava. Okay, so from liquidy magma they crystallize into a solid form. Okay, so all the options, form at relatively high temperature, formed by the crystallization of solids from a liquid, form at high and low pressure, all of the above, all the three options are correct. Okay, so option 4 is the correct option here. So these were some other important practice questions for one to understand the conceptual part, or how we can obtain or how we can attempt questions like those. Okay, so in the next video we will talk about some other questions. Thank you.